You have escaped from Umbar and thrown off your pursuers by fleeing into the desert. But many barren miles lie between you and the other side. To turn back is to walk into the arms of the Haradrim, so you set out on a dangerous desert crossing. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Line Unbroken, my progression style playthrough series of the Lord of the Rings, the card game. I'm playing the second scenario from the Sands of Harad deluxe expansion, Desert Crossing. So, my opening hands, I did not mulligan either of them. This one I'm less sure about. It would be nice to have Master of the Forge, but starting with Warden of Healing is good. I have a couple of traps, Darren's Runes. It's decent. This has King of the Mountain and Elven Light, so I figure that's just really good. So, setup. Each player searches the encounter deck for a copy of Burnt Sands and adds it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck, place the heat tracker next to the quest deck and set the temperature to 10. The heat tracker, you're supposed to use a spare threat tracker, which obviously is not a thing in Octagon. I'm just going to put damage tokens on this quest card. And I only need 2 copies of Burnt Sands. The other 2 can go back in the encounter deck. Burnt Sands. While the temperature is 40 or higher, Burnt Sands gets +2 threat. Forced after Burnt Sands becomes the active location, increase the temperature by 2. So, all that said, Control N. Okay, sneak attack to go with my Gandalf. Very good. And, yeah, okay, I'm going to immediately play King of the Mountain. And use it. I will discard the Elven Light. Over here, I found another Darren's Runes. I'm going to play the Ranger Spikes for only 1 with Damrod. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. Anything, because my standard logic, anything that I draw with Darren's Runes I will not play. So I may as well leave it until next round and have more options for discards. There is 4 threat in the staging area. I will quest 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. With the Ranger Spikes I will probably be fine regardless, so just in case I need a bit more attack, maybe I just go for 9 this round. Reveal Burnt Sands and a Wereworm. Not the best thing to have land on the Ranger Spikes because X is the 10th digit of the temperature. As the quest goes on, that will increase. I actually had a failed attempt which I abandoned because I realised that I had forgotten about the Wereworm's threat increasing and thus exceeding the -2 from the Ranger Spikes. But at the moment, X is 1, so this is 0 threat. So I've added 2 threat to the staging area, and I make 3 progress, which is fine. Travel to the Burnt Sands, which increases the temperature by 2. And I guess that is it for the round. Control N at the end of the round. Increase the temperature. Oh yeah, I forgot to flip this over. As the sun climbs into the sky, you can feel the rising heat begin to take its toll on you. Forced after an ally enters play, either exhaust it or deal 1 damage to it. Forced at the end of the round, increase the temperature by 4. If the temperature is 60 or higher, the players lose the game. So, okay, what do we have here? Weatherstained Cloak, I will play onto Damrod. Tangling Nets is free with Damrod. I'll play this Warden of Healing and put the quest card, immediately exhaust him. And honestly, I'm still going to hold off on the Darren's Runes, I think. Actually, no. Try and find good options. Yeah, Honor Guard is good. Interrogation is nice. Well, yeah, everything in my hand is good. But I guess I'll lose a copy of Interrogation. And then I will play the Honor Guard and exhaust him. Over here. Down to the mountain. Okay, I would like to have Arwen. And I will immediately play her. And exhaust her. Targeting Gimli, I guess. And let's start gearing up a bit. Give Legolas a Dunedain mark. Yeah, okay. So at the beginning of the quest phase, I'm going to sneak attack Gandalf, doing a point of damage to him, and draw 3 cards. Okay. And play Wheel of Idle to draw another card. Okay. Then quest 4, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Discarding Camp of the Mountain. 11, 15. And Theodred adds the resource to Legolas. And there is 4 threat in the staging area. So we reveal Sandstorm. Each player either discards their hand or assigns X damage among characters they control. X is the number of cards in their hand. So that would be 6 and 4. I could take that damage at this point. And it probably wouldn't be too hard to get it healed up over a few rounds if I want to save my test of will. Yeah, okay, so 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, sorry. Weatherstained Cloak. While attached character is committed to the quest, it gains response exhaust Weatherstained Cloak to cancel 1 point of damage just dealt to attached characters. So I can take one of the places in lines like that. And we also have Scorching Sun Surge. When revealed, increase the temperature by 4. And it surges into Seek Shade. You must find a cool place to rest out of the sun's burning gaze. Surge forced at the end of the round. Remove X progress from the main quest. X is the tens digit of the temperature. When this stage is defeated, reduce the temperature by 10. So, okay. And Surge. Heat Exhaustion. Each player exhausts a character they control and deals 1 damage to that character. I guess I can do that. This deck has no ready characters, so it does nothing. No threat added to the staging area. I make 11 progress, which means I will advance the quest, which is possibly not ideal at this point, but we're going with it. And what's it doing? You trudge across the barren desert with the blazing sun overhead and deadly creatures underfoot, but nothing is more dangerous to you than your lack of water. When revealed, increase the temperature by 2. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and reveal 1 encounter card per player. Mirage. Discard the active location, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards from the top until a location is discarded. Make that location the active location. Well, there is no active location, but it's not a then, so I still resolve the second part. I just shuffled the discard pile back in, so I don't need to do it again. So Towering Dunes becomes the active location, and forced after Towering Dunes becomes the active location, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Desert Oasis. While it's the active location, it gains response. When Desert Oasis is explored, heal 4 damage from among characters in play. And forced after Desert Oasis becomes the active location, each player exalts a character they control. And the second card revealed from advancing the quest is another copy of Burnt Sands. Too many locations, not enough enemies. This is a recipe for me potentially losing this quest, or at least getting bogged down for a long time. Okay, if you cannot make it across the desert soon, you are certain to die of thirst. Forced at the end of the round, increase the temperature by 4. Then each player assigns X damage among characters they control, where X is the tens digit of the temperature. If the temperature is 60 or higher, the players lose the game. Gandalf returns to my hand, and that's going to be it for the round. Yep. So Control N, and of course the temperature goes up by 4, and each deck has to assign 2 damage among characters they control. I'm going to cancel 1 point of damage with the Honor Guard, and otherwise have 1, 2, and 1. So, okay, we are not idle. Draw another card. Unlikely Friendship. Draw a card and add a resource. King Under the Mountain. I will authors discard Arwen. Okay. Oh yes, incidentally, this side quest is a bit small. As you can see, that's an issue with card dimensions in Octagon having been messed up by an update. It's mostly been fixed, but I guess this one was missed. So, let's see, I'm going to have 8 threat in the staging area. I might want to just hardcast Gandalf here. Worth noting, I no longer have to exhaust or damage my allies when they enter play. Yeah, I think I'm just going to play Gandalf and draw 3 more cards. Okay, there's another sneak attack. Too late now. Here, I'm going to play the Halfling Bounder and leave it at that. So, as noted, there is 8 threat in the staging area. So, quest for 4, 8, discarding Arwen to Legolas. 9, 11, 17, 18, and I'm going to try and seek Shade. reveal a Scorched Hamada. X is the tens digit of the temperature. Forced after it becomes the active location, assign X damage among characters in play. And Unbearable Heat. Each player assigns X damage among characters they control, where X is the tens digit of the temperature. I mean, it seems like a waste not to take it when I can just do Gandalf, and it's more painful over here, but sure. So I've added 2 threat to the staging area. I am making 8 progress, so that's 4 here and 4 here. I have not made it through the quest. Okay, yeah. So here I guess this is an advantage of the fact that all of the effects on the quest, not the quest, on the locations are forced after X becomes the active location rather than travel cost. Because it means that in this instance I can just exhaust the Warden of Healing to heal Gimli and Biffa, then travel to the Desert Oasis, and after it becomes the active location, each player exhausts a character they control. This deck has no characters to exhaust. Oh yeah, I just realised, again, I could have taken the damage with the Wet-Stained Cloak, which would mean I'm going to take away that one. And, okay. Oh, and I just travelled, which means I can put Curious Brandybucks into play. Now, I guess the question is, do I want to put all of them into play or save some for a later round? I think I'll go for putting 2 of them into play. And of course, at the end of the round, I have to discard Gandalf, increase the temperature by 4, and then assign 3 damage among characters I control, so we can have 1, 2, and 1 cancelled with the Honor Guard. Control N. The Honor Guard is exhausted. We're not idle. Finds me an Envoy of Pelagia. Vigilant Dunedain would be great if I was actually getting enemies, but I'm not. Found another Honor Guard. Shadow of the Past and Ranger Spikes. Don't want to Shadow of the Past that. Oh, of course, the Wereworm is now up to 1 threat again. Yeah, I guess I discard Shadow of the Past and play new Halfling Bounder. Over here, I've still got King Under the Mountain. Okay, so obviously I keep Gandalf and discard Gandalf. Play Envoy of Pelagia, add the resource to Legolas. the circumstances, I'm going to pull Elven Light back to my hand. And okay, now I can discard 2 copies of Elven Light to put this Elven Jeweler into play. So there is 10 threat in the staging area. Let's see, how much can I get to without sneak attacking Gandalf? 4, 5, 7, 11, 13, 19, 21. I need to make 4 progress. That's actually pretty reasonable. I could save the sneak attack Gandalf for later. So let's pull back Elven Light again. Okay. The significant point being that I can discard it again, and Legolas gets his resource back from Theodred. And I'm questing for 21. Reveal Sand Viper. Players cannot declare defenders against Sand Viper forced after the players travel to a location Sand Viper engages the first player, but it lands on the entangling nets, which means this deck can draw a card. Okay. And Parched Wadi. While it's in the staging area, each creature enemy gets +1 threat and +1 attack. Forced after it becomes the active location, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck and discard cards from the top until a creature enemy is discarded. Add that enemy to the staging area. So this is 3, 4, 5, 9 threat added. Well, at least I explored the Desert Oasis. So I can heal 4 damage from among characters in play. And my Curious Brandybucks go to the bottom of my deck. Let's see, which 4 points of damage do I want to heal? Go for those 4, sure. Now, so yeah, I guess I yeah, I should go to the Parched Wadi. I'm going to put my remaining Curious Brandybuck into play. And okay, shuffle the discard pile into the deck. I kind of didn't want to do this because I could have potentially... No, I don't actually have a Shadow of the Past, no. If I had a Shadow of the Past, I could have, but I discarded it. I could have used it to put the Oasis back on top of the deck because it's fairly innocuous, but obviously not an option. So now discard until I get an enemy. Okay, and add that enemy to the staging area. But now the players have just travelled to a location, so I guess both of these engage the first player. It's either that or this one did, but this one didn't because it... I think technically this one didn't because it wasn't in play at the time of the triggering condition of the location of me travelling. Which means I can then optionally engage it in the encounter phase and get an extra resource on Mablong. I think that's actually right. So, deal shadow cards. Players can't declare defenders against Sand Vipers, so undefended and undefended, exhausted. I should have just done this in advance, and I'm going to allow myself that as a retcon. And the 1 undefended damage will go here. Yeah, unfortunately, of course, because I didn't actually defend anything, I didn't get to ready Legolas, so I can't kill this one. So that's annoying. I suppose I could have engaged the werewolf, but it would have attacked twice. So yeah, no, this is fine. I am now going to play Interrogation. Choose an enemy with an attached trap card. Look at the top X cards of the encounter deck, where X is that enemy's printed threat. You may discard one of those cards, return the rest to the top of the deck in the same order. So obviously I'm choosing this Sand Viper so I can look at 4 cards. Alright. So Carrion Bird is great for Ranger Spikes, because it's just 2 threat, which will become 0 threat. The Wereworm... Actually, yeah, the Wereworm could be fine. And then those other 2 will be shadow cards. I can deal with this. So Control N. Yeah, this would be removing progress from the main quest, but I don't have any. So increase the temperature by 4, and then I have to assign damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess like that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. And I can King Under the Mountain here. Obviously I'm going to discard Elven Light. And then Unlikely Friendship, draw a card, add a resource to Legolas, because I want to save up and play Sulian, who I've just drawn. Let's play this Weatherhill's Watchman, and so it's top 5 cards for... It would be great to have Rune Master. That's one reason why I've been holding off on playing these additional signal attachments. That and your other uses for my resources. Okay! Master of the Forge finally decided to turn up, but I can't afford to play him right now because I need these Ranger Spikes. And Vigilant Dunedain, who of course, while there's a side quest in the victory display, does not exhaust to defend. So as soon as I can get through this... Also, of course, Halfling Bounders, while there is a side quest in the victory display, gain response, discard Halfling Bounders, cancel the when revealed effects of an encounter card that was just revealed from the encounter deck. Basically, they become a test of will on a stick. So, I need to make 5 progress. The threat in the staging area will be 6, 7, 10, 13. So I need to quest for 18. Arwen will now be targeting the Vigilant Dunedain exclusively. So yes, right, I need to quest for 18. So it'll be 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 15, 16, 'So I guess I could hold back Mablong and use my sneak attack Gandalf, and this would be enough if I think, if that's what I want to do. Or I could throw in I mean, I could just so yeah, I also would like to take up the the werewolm, and if possible, at least this sand viper. This one is less of a concern. So actually, yes. Come to think of it, I think I definitely do want to be able to trigger Legolas regardless. I could sneak attack Gandalf in the combat phase if it's relevant. So yeah, questing these as well, discarding King of the Mountain. So that's 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18. Exactly. Yeah, okay, so 18, I reveal these two because of the Carrion Bird landing in the Ranger Spikes. This deck gets to draw a card. Right, yeah, that was the other consideration. Oh, no, wait. So the other consideration was, oh, if I'm not going to play Sneak Attack Gandalf, then I could transfer a resource from Gimli to Biffa and play this Master of the Forge. But then I just realised I can just transfer a resource from Mablong to Biffa and play the Master of the Forge. So I will say that I did that and grab this Entangling Nets, shuffle my deck, and then got to draw a card for the Ranger Spikes, which is Deep Knowledge. So I'm just going to play that to draw some more cards. And I'll play the Unlikely Friendship, draw another card, add another resource to Legolas. Okay. So now we make 5 progress. So this is explored and this is explored. I reduce the temperature by 10. Curious Brandybuck goes to the bottom of my deck. I think I'm going to go to the Scorched Harada while it's only 2 damage rather than 3. it is among characters in play, not per player. Let's do it like that. And because I just travelled, these come over here. I'll engage the Wereworm here. Get a resource on Mablung. So this has to be undefended. This also has to be undefended. Raising threat by X, where X is the 10th digit of the temperature, so 2. And I take the 1 undefended damage on Legolas. Gimli can defend this and ready Legolas. This attack deals damage the defending character cannot ready until the end of the round. It does not deal damage. The Wereworm's attack is 2 because I dropped the temperature. So that's good. Let's heal up Legolas and Biffa. And so it takes 7 to kill this Wereworm. So yeah, that's going to be everything. Still can't deal with this unless I sneak attack Gandalf specifically for the purpose, which I don't think is worth it. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I think I'd rather have Gandalf's willpower. Control N. Temperature goes up by 4 and I assign 2 damage for each player. So that'll be 1, 2. Okay. Weatherstained Cloak can go on Mablung. Tangling Nets is free. Envoy of Pelagir adds resource to Damrod. What is the top card of the discard pile? Scorched Hamada. Well, I could have discarded these in either order, but no. It would be Scorched Hamada, which I don't really want to Shadow of the Past. But what I can definitely consider doing at some point is Waters of Nimrodel. Oh, yeah, I should also use my Master of the Forge. And I'll grab a Ranger Spikes. Maybe I should play the Ranger Spikes instead of the Entangling Nets. Maybe not. Obviously I have no knowledge of what is coming. Just occurred to me, I could have considered putting King Under the Mountain on Biffa, have this deck draw faster, but no, I think this is fine. So, I'm sure this is fine. King Under the Mountain. Wow, I didn't realise I was far enough to find a Brandybuck again. Did I shuffle my deck at some point? Obviously I want to keep the sneak attack. Let's play Sulian. Willow Hill's Watchman can grab me a Dunedain Mark. Oh yeah, of course. Where the Hill's Watchman shuffles the deck. Under the circumstances, I think I want to get a Dunedain Warning onto Gimli. Oh, that'll preclude me playing Sneak Attack Gandalf. I suppose there's only going to be 6 threat in the staging area, so I should be okay. So, sure, okay. Questing for 4, 5, 7, 13, 15, I had to discard for Legolas. I was going to pull back an Elven Light and discard that. Right, what was that? 4, 5, 7, 13, 15, 16, 17. Let's go with 17. I'm holding at 18. I'm holding back like a couple of allies in case I need a little bit of extra attack though. Shouldn't really be a thing, so actually I'll do it this way. So that'll come to 19. And I reveal Craft Remedy. Okay, some of your companions have been poisoned. They need a remedy to counteract the venom. Treat the printed text box of each damaged character as if it were blank, except for traits. Response: when this stage is defeated, heal 1 damage from each character in play. Doesn't surge though, that's something. Surge, increase the temperature by 4. You know, honestly, I have 3 tests of will. I'm actually going to cancel this. Because, well, not just I have 3 tests of will, I have 3 tests of will and 2 halfling bounders in play. At the moment their text boxes are blank, but I can get rid of this or heal them. But that did surge, Desert Oasis, okay. So that's added 2 threat to the staging area. I make 11 progress. 4 here, 7 here. So, yeah, of course I could have used Sulian also to reduce the threat of all these locations by 1, get myself 4 more progress. But I don't think I really want to do that. So I certainly could go to the Desert Oasis at this point, but I'm thinking that this is going to be the moment for Waters of Nimrodel to just reset all of my damage. In which case, the Desert Oasis would be kind of wasted. So let's go to a Burnt Sands, increasing the temperature. These guys cross over, and okay, combat. Both of these have to be undefended. So I take 1 damage there. And I can attack for 4 to kill the Sand Viper that is not in Entangling Nets. Control N. Guild's Council is always welcome. I have to raise the temperature by 4 and then assign 3 damage among characters. Well, each player has to assign 3 damage among characters. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Oh, Mablung didn't get that resource because he had damage and thus his tax box was blank. That's fine. I don't really need more tactics resources, as you can kind of see. What is the top? Oh, yeah, of course. Well, no. It could have been the carrion bird. Right? No, wait. What was the shadow card on this? Okay, whatever. I was about to get into, you can discard shadow cards in any order you want, but of course I did kill 1, so the shadow card from this should have been the top thing in the discard, but I don't know. So I don't know how that happened exactly, but regardless, I'm just going to say I don't play Shadow of the Past. So yeah, at this point I have kind of maxed out damage, so we're going to go 3 resources. Waters of Nimrodel, doomed 3 heal all damage. And there we go. King under the Mountain. Discard Rune Master. Over here, Master of the Forge. Poisoned Stakes. Sure. So, Rune Master. On to Theodred. And let's have another Dunedain Warning. On to Gimli. I get the resource back from Rune Master. Over here, I am actually going to play an additional trap because Poison Stakes and Entangling Nets is reasonable as a combination. Well, I suppose unless I want to not do that and instead transfer Mablung's resource and play Gildor's Council, that could certainly be an idea. So it's fairly workable regardless, I think. Let's go with it this way, and okay. So do I want to sneak attack Gandalf? This is up to 1 threat again. So 2, 4, 5, 7 threat in the staging area. And since I now have no damage to heal, I think I may want to just ignore Craft Remedy and go straight for the main quest. If I advance, then I might want Sneak Attack Gandalf for combat. Of course, I can get an extra resource from Theodred, which would be enough for 2 sneak attacks and Gimli's ability to ready Legolas. So maybe I should just do that. Sure. Sneak attack, Gandalf, and at this point I'm going to drop my threat. So, questing 4, 8, 9 for Legolas. I'm going to discard Envoy. 9, 11, 17, 11. Let's see, I need 10 progress. So yeah, I should just go all out on it. $24. And reveal Sandstorm. Each player either discards their hand or assigns X damage. Okay, that's going to be too much damage. Test of will. And Burnt Sands. So that's just +2 threat. 15 progress. Of course, another thing about this, I'll be taking much less damage once I advance because I'll no longer have to assign X damage to one characters I control at the end of every round. You have wandered through the trackless desert and discovered the legendary nesting grounds of the wild wereworms. The beasts rear up and circle to attack. You must drive them off or meet your end upon the desert sands. When revealed, increase the temperature by 2. Each player searches the encounter deck, discard pile, and victory display for a wereworm and adds it to the staging area. If able, shuffle the encounter deck. So one of them is going to land on both of these traps and the other is not. Of course, Damrod's ability, his response does not have a limit, so that means I get to draw 2 cards. And this quest stage. During the quest phase, add X threat to the total threat in the staging area, where X is the tens digit of the temperature. Forced at the end of the round, increase the temperature by 4. While at least one wereworm is in play, the players cannot defeat this stage. If the players defeat this stage, they win the game. If the temperature is 60 or higher, the players lose the game. Gandalf comes back to my hand. So I think I go to Burnt Sands, increasing the temperature by 2. And of course I have to engage 2 of these wereworms. This one I can still ignore, and I think I should continue ignoring it because I don't think I can kill it yet. Gonna have a hard enough time. Let's see, Legolas is 4 +1 from Gimli's ability, so 8. That is exactly enough to kill a wereworm. So this deck will engage this wereworm. This deck will engage this wereworm. Mad One gains a resource. And oh, of course, the werewolves, after they engage you, make an immediate attack without a shadow card. Of course, their attack is 3, and the Vigilant Dunedain is a 3 defense sentinel, thanks to Arwen, so he can defend both of those attacks. And now, oh yeah, I travelled, so this is back over here. So this has to be undefended still, plus X attack, where X is the tens digit of the temperature. Okay, so that would take it up to 4, and then -2 from entangling nets, so 2. So I guess we blank Theodred's text box. Actually, no, it's because I can fix it. The Vigilant Dunedain will take this one. Either discard the highest cost attachment you control or assign X damage among characters you control, where X is the number of attachments you control. Well, the highest cost attachment I control is 1 cost. Oh no, it's 2 cost. King of the Mountain. Actually, I'm okay with that. I'll just discard King of the Mountain. There are 7 cards left in my deck. I don't really need it. Oh yeah, also, keep forgetting things. When I travelled, Curious Brandybuck. Vigilant Dunedain took no damage from that. Gimli will defend this, and ready Legolas. No shadow. Okay. Attack for 3, 8. Kill the werewolf. Oh yeah, could have cancelled a point of damage. That is what the Honor Guard is for, and now I can heal the other point of damage. I was thinking, oh, I can heal it with a Dunedain Remedy and also give him a resource with Rune Master. But yeah, okay, so discard these shadow cards. At the end of the round, I have to raise the temperature by 4. Okay, Control M. Over here, Master of the Forge. Tangling Nets. Okay. I meant to do that last round, and then I can also do it this round. Because as nice as another Honor Guard would be, it's not that. Actually, I suppose it doesn't matter that much, because I'm going to play Shadow of the Past. So, Unbearable Heat is going back on top of the encounter deck. And yeah, that's going to be it for the moment. Over here, Dunedain Mark for Legolas, which also gives him a resource from Rune Master. And that'll be it. Oh, this werewolf took 2 damage from the poison stakes. So yeah, okay. Quest phase. Yeah, actually, I guess I'm going to pull back 2 Elven Lights. Draw 2 cards. And discard 2 Elven Lights to put this Elven Jeweler into play. Now, quest phase. Sneak attack Gandalf. Deal 4 damage to the werewolf in the staging area. Now, questing 2, 4, 6. 7. 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 21, 25. Discarding Rune Master to Legolas, adding a resource to Legolas with Theodred. Okay, and Gildor's Cancel. And I reveal Unbearable Heat. Each player assigns X damage among characters they control, where X is the 10th digit of the temperature. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. 3, 4. I could have obviously just cancelled it, but I didn't need to. So, I guess this means I could have just calculated how much threat I would have, but never mind. So these are both now 4 threat, because the temperature is over 40. And there's also 4 threat added to the staging area from this. So 12, 14, 16 threat is in the staging area. Wow. So I'm currently making 9 progress. Going to use Sulian, which will reduce the threat in the staging area by 3. Okay, no. I could have just quested with Sulian and had the exact same effect. And since I was using Gildor's Cancel, I knew my exact staging. I should have just done that. So, okay, 12 progress. 3 and 9. Okay. That's reasonable. Burnt Sands. Increase the temperature by 2. This comes over here. Mablon gains a resource. Well, Gandalf is back in my hand, but the Curious Brandybuck is not on the bottom of my deck because his text box is blank. Actually getting a benefit out of that. And I'm going to optionally engage this Wereworm, gaining a resource. It makes an immediate attack, which I will defend with the Vigilant Dunedain. It's 4 attack against 3 defense. He takes 1 damage. I will then heal. And now... Okay, this still has to be undefended. Exhaust a character you control. Okay. Damn. Well, it's fine, actually. Gimli will defend this. That's no damage. Vigilant Dunedain can do this one, since it's -2 attack from the entangling nets. That is also no damage. So I had planned to get both of these killed by the end of this round, but I guess I'll just do this one. I suppose I could kill the Sand Viper. But I think I'd rather not. Do I have another Shadow of the Past? No. Is there? There is a third copy in the deck, so there's a chance of me drawing it. That being the case, this would be quite a nice thing to Shadow of the Past back on top of the deck, so I'll allow for that option. This takes 2 damage from the Poison Stakes. I increase the temperature by 4. Control N. I do have another Gildor's Council. Okay, Master of the Forge. Poison Stakes. So let's see. I'll play that Honor Guard. I guess I should just... Yeah, okay, I guess I... So Sulian could have been nice. I guess really if I'd gotten her earlier in the game, then there were loads of locations in the staging area, or at least more than 3. So it would have been worthwhile. As it is, she's just going to be questing, because I'm going to play Gildor's Council. There's no way I can have more than 3 locations in the staging area. And in fact, I'm going to play the Ranger Spikes, because that will reduce the threat that I get. And over here, yeah, I think the best thing for me to do is to play a Dunedain Remedy. I have no damage to heal, but I can now trigger Rune Master to add a resource, and then spend all of my resources on Gandalf. Drop the threat again. So now in the quest phase, I play Gildor's Council. So there's 4, 8, 10 threat. I quest for 4, 8, 9, 11, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 27, 27. Should that be enough? I need 10 progress. So that's probably enough. I'm just thinking if I reveal another wereworm, I will have to kill it. So keeping some more allies ready on this side makes sense. So yeah, okay. 27. Find water. Oh, this is Oh, well, no, I guess it works out. Your companions grow weary from thirst. They need water to drink. Characters cannot be readied by player card effects. Response: when this stage is defeated, each player readies one hero they control. I hate this side quest. It tends to cause a lot of problems. It very much causes problems when you build your decks around Gimli Legolas, who need to ready each other. But it doesn't surge, it doesn't add threat to the staging area, so I make 17 progress. So I have enough progress to win. The only issue is that this werewolf is still in play. Since I can't ready Legolas, I will not be able to kill it in the combat phase, but it will die to the poison stakes at the end of the round. So, yeah, with that being the case, there's no point in me travelling in the combat phase. The Vigilant Dunedain can defend this. This attack deals damage. It would deal damage, but it's not going to deal damage. Also, if this attack deals damage, the defending character cannot ready until the end of the round. He doesn't exhaust. This has to be undefended. Still nothing. So, I guess I'll do this properly. Control R. At the end of the round, this is a passive effect, so it happens first. Gandalf is discarded. Increase the temperature by 4. And 2 damage placed on the werewolf, which is destroyed. And I win the game. So yeah, Desert Crossing. It's certainly an interesting one. The side quests can make a big difference, potentially. The ticking timer of the temperature, unintentional alliteration, that makes for... It's an interesting way of adding pressure to it, and it's been a while since I've seen it get as high as 52. The decks, I would say, worked out pretty solidly. It would have been better if I'd found a Master of the Forge sooner to dig the attachments out of my deck sooner, so I would have drawn more other things. What of the Nimrodel? Based on testing, I wasn't sure if I actually needed this, but clearly it turns out I kind of did. I figured basically exactly what happened. It would be there in case everything went wrong, because if I got a Warden or two, or a Warden and Yoreth, whatever, into play early on, if I could get like 2 Wardens and Yoreth, then I could really keep the damage under control. I suppose it's also a fact, it's also because I advanced past stage 1 quite quickly. If you hang around on stage 1 for longer, then obviously this is the where you really get lots of damage. So if you hang around here and then blitz this, then the damage isn't a concern. But I cleared this fairly quickly and then had to hang around here for multiple rounds. And I only had this 1 Warden of Healing, so also the Nimrodel became relevant. Sulien, as I mentioned, this was also a thing based on test plays. I sometimes just got overwhelmed by locations. So I figured, since I could feed resources to Legolas through Theodred, Unlikely Friendship, and Rune Master. I figured I could probably afford the 4-cost Spirit Ally, and especially with Biffa, I could afford to use her ability. And so if I'd started getting location locked, as I did in some test plays, that would have worked out for me. Yeah, I didn't cycle Elven Light as much as I could have. Not getting Rune Master early did hurt a bit, because obviously that would have helped keep the resource situation flowing. But overall, everything basically worked out. Certainly, Vigilant Dunedain, Arwen, and no player side quests, only encounter side quests, but with 3 of them in the deck, decent chance you're going to find one. And Vigilant Dunedain is very powerful. So, if you enjoyed this, please consider supporting me on Patreon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.